So this is another one of these kind of cheap homage watches that I picked up off of Temu. This one was $17.48. We're going to compare the quality between this watch and this cheaper one that I featured in a previous video. This one was $5.48, $12 cheaper. And as you can see, the quality is just not there. And for a $5 watch, I did not expect it to be. The bezel doesn't turn. The links on the bracelet are stamped and folded into place. There is an excessive amount of play. The clasp is very cheap. And it's almost like, you can see with the clasp, there is no lock or unlock. It's just a little tab here that holds everything in place, which it seems to do okay. The back, I already did take the back off in that other video. It's got a clone Miyota movement in it, but it's just a pressure cap. You just pop that off and that's it. It's not screwed down or anything. It does have the date feature. Ironically, this watch does not keep time. I have not tried to replace the battery. I didn't think it was worth it, but here we are. We'll do a comparison video. So this is a LIGE watch. It's kind of the same style. We're just gonna open it up. Kind of get a good once over of everything. You can see it's, came from the same place. All you gotta do is just start reading the details. It's not only a timepiece, it is a piece of fashion. Space, exclamation point. So you know where we're going here at this point. I have already opened this up just to kind of glance at it, but we'll open it up for the camera. Nothing in there. Watch itself. They give you this warranty card, international guarantee, customer name, model, date of purchase, whatever. They say it's got a 2-year warranty, except I really don't think you're going to be contacting Temu and getting a replacement outside of their return window. I really don't think that's going to happen. So this might as well just be trash. So they give you a little cleaning cloth, but here's the manual. Legend, immortality, gorgeous, extraordinary. It really doesn't make any sense. If you want to just pause this and kind of read it over, I'm not going to read it for you guys, but you can tell it was kind of just haphazardly thrown together. They tell you how to take the link out of the bracelet, how to adjust the size of the mesh strap band, which this watch does not have. Tell you about automatic watches. This one's quartz, so it doesn't apply. So this manual they include with probably all the other watches that they sell. Set everything. Yeah, this is for all the models that they sell. Now, but it's, what's funny about it is it's an embossed booklet. So they spent a little bit of time making this at least look halfway presentable. So for under $20, is this watch a good deal? Is it comparable to any of the other watches you can get in Walmart for about the same amount of money? And the answer, just by looking at it, I've already verified that it does in fact keep time. Everything's good there. So as far as the movement is concerned and the battery, that's all good. But for $20, you get a decent watch. The back is actually screw down. The bezel rotates like it rotates like it should. It doesn't feel extremely cheap. There's a little bit of play here, but that's nothing that I didn't already expect. But it's pretty funny how only $12 more gets you a watch that's really kind of looks the same as, both of these are made to look very similar to a Rolex Submariner. And even with this LIGE, you can see that the text down here is approximately in the same place. Even their logo is kind of in the same place as a Rolex. But is this watch any good for long term? Well, quartz movements are pretty reliable, even these cheap Chinese ones. And I'm not going to take the back off of this, but I'm guessing that it's got another clone Miyota in it as well. But we're gonna go ahead and peel all this wrapping off. At least these make it easier. So this watch does not come with any extra links. And one thing that worries me about watches like this that don't come long enough and they don't include the links is if the thing is gonna fit. So the clasp is 2 pieces. So there and there. And it just barely fits on my wrist. I've got a pretty thick wrist. It really doesn't look too bad. But if you've got a thicker wrist than I do, you're pretty much SOL, because that's it. I mean, I'm not going to take a link out of that. If I take one link out, it's going to be too tight. I'm really impressed with the quality of the clasp for the price point. It's actually locking like a normal clasp should. I kind of like the twin clasp here release, and I believe you don't even have to take both of them out. No, you don't. You can just release one of them at a time or release both. For under $20, out of all the watches that I've bought from Temu, this one is by far the best deal out of all of them. And you can read some of the reviews on there. Definitely take them with a grain of salt though, because sometimes those reviews, you can tell that they're quite obviously fabricated. There were people that had bought this one and there were pictures of them wearing it, so they seemed like they were real reviews. And if you're in the need of something that's cheap, you can wait a little bit of time and you want a cheap watch that's better than the cheap watches at Walmart build quality wise, then this might be your go-to. This might be a $40 or $50 watch at Walmart with a different brand name, of course. Brand name. It's even got the guard here for the crown, which is kind of nice. What's kind of funny about this is they've got this year on the back here, 1853. Like this name has been around that long, which I kind of find that hard to believe. But they claim it's water resistant up to 100 feet or 30 meters, which is probably true. And the watch is cheap enough that if you break it or lose it, you're not really going to be, it's not going to be a big deal. I mean, if I was to break this, I wouldn't sweat it. But overall, I'd say it's a decent watch, much better value than something like this. These cheap $5 watches that you get off Temu or anywhere else, they're basically throwaway watches. I wouldn't even wear something like this, but this one, like I said, if I was going somewhere where I knew I was going to be possibly breaking it or taking it kind of to a rough environment, I wouldn't even worry about it. I would wear this watch and go about my business, and that'd be the end of it. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. Stay tuned for more. See you next time.